Let's start with what you think surveillance is for. Terrorists, drug dealers, people planning something awful. The government needs a reason to watch you, right? You need to be someone of interest. Well, in 2013, a contractor named Edward Snowden walked out of the NSA with a hard drive. And what was on it changed that assumption forever. The NSA's Purism programs collected data directly from Microsoft, Google, Apple, Facebook, and others. Not targeted suspects. Everyone. Phone records, emails, search queries, location data. The infrastructure for watching every person in a country simultaneously had been quietly built and was being quietly used. The justification, national security. The scope, the entire internet. Here's what intelligence agencies say when people get upset. We only collect metadata, not content. Metadata means who you called, when, for how long, from where, not what you said. Here's what a former NSA director actually said. We kill people based on metadata. Metadata isn't harmless background information. Metadata is the map of your life. Your smartphone is the most sophisticated surveillance device ever built. And you paid for it, carry it everywhere, and sleep next to it. It knows where you are at all times, who you talk to, what you search for at 2 a.m, what apps you use, when, and for how long. It can be compelled to report all of this, and in many countries it doesn't even require a court order. And the permission system on your phone, partially a suggestion. Researchers demonstrated that the accelerometer, the sensor that detects movement, can identify individual people by their walking gait without requiring any permissions at all. Your phone also broadcasts a probe request every few seconds, looking for known Wi-Fi networks, broadcasting a unique hardware identifier each time. Your physical movements can be tracked passively, silently, and without your knowledge or consent. You don't have to install anything, you just have to walk. At least the phone surveillance requires some effort. Social media you hand over yourself. Your name, your face, your location, your political opinions, your relationships, your daily routine. Voluntarily uploaded, publicly accessible, permanently stored, and legally available to government agencies in most jurisdictions without a warrant. The surveillance state's greatest efficiency gain was convincing people to do it themselves. And your phone isn't even the only device anymore. Smart TVs log every show you watch and every button you press. Smart speakers are always listening. That's the entire product. Fitness trackers know your heart rate, your sleep patterns, and where you run every morning. In 2014, an insurance company started offering customers lower premiums in exchange for sharing their fitness tracker data. Most of them said yes. Most of them didn't read what they'd agreed to. In China, over 500 million cameras cover public spaces. The UK has more CCTV cameras per person than almost any country on Earth. The United States ran facial recognition trials on airport passengers without informing them. Facial recognition has a documented racial bias, meaning it misidentifies certain groups at significantly higher rates, yet it's already being used to make arrests. Some of those arrests have been wrong. Every card transaction you make is logged. Every bank transfer. Every crypto exchange, if you used a regulated platform. Financial intelligence units exist in most countries specifically to monitor money flows for suspicious patterns. The threshold for suspicious is lower than you think. In the U.S., banks are legally required to file reports on customers without telling those customers a report was filed. And then there's the part governments don't even need to do themselves. Data brokers, companies you've never heard of, collect and sell detailed profiles on hundreds of millions of people. Your address history, your income estimate, your health interests inferred from your searches, your political leanings inferred from your purchases, all of it packaged and sold to anyone willing to pay, including in many cases government agencies looking to avoid the warrant process. So who needs all of this? Governments argue safety, predictive policing, catching threats before they happen, but surveillance also means knowing who is organizing politically, who is protesting, who journalists are talking to, who activists are meeting with. The infrastructure built for security is identical to the infrastructure built for control. The difference is who's in charge and what they decide to do with it. For corporations, the calculation is simpler. Your data profile is worth money, not to protect you, to predict you, what you'll buy, what price you'll accept, what fear or desire makes you click. Targeted advertising is the polite name for behavioral manipulation at scale. The more they know about you, the more precisely they can exploit the specific psychological levers that make you spend. In 2018, a political consulting firm called Cambridge Analytica harvested the data of 87 million Facebook users without their knowledge. The data was used to build psychological profiles and target political advertising at specific voters, not to sell you shoes, to change how you vote. The infrastructure for advertising turns out to be identical to the infrastructure for political manipulation. The only difference is the product. 14 countries have intelligence sharing agreements. The Five Eyes, US, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, form the core. The arrangement allows each country to surveil citizens of other member countries and share the results, neatly sidestepping domestic laws against governments spying on their own people. So when your government can't legally watch you, a friendly government can watch you for them. The most common response to all of this is, I have nothing to hide. This argument assumes surveillance is only a problem if you're guilty. It also assumes the rules won't change. The people who are surveilled for being gay or communist are the wrong religion or in the wrong political party. Most of them had nothing to hide either. They just lived somewhere at some time where those things became crimes. There's a documented phenomenon called the chilling effect. When people know they might be watched, they change what they say, search, and write, even if they have done nothing wrong. After the Snowden revelations, Wikipedia recorded a significant drop in searches for terrorism-related topics, not because terrorism became less interesting, because people were afraid of being associated with the search term. Mass surveillance doesn't just record behavior, it shapes it. You are not a suspect. You're a data point, and data points don't need to do anything wrong to be useful. They just need to exist, to be processed, to be stored, and to be available when someone with access decides they need them. The question was never whether you have something to hide. The question is who gets to decide what counts as something.